All right, so all set. Just 1 minute. Who joined with the name of the EME? May I know your name, please, if you don't mind? I can rename you. Somebody join with EME. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi. What's your full name?
My name is Emengu,
Okay. Okay.
Emengu.
Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining. Just wait while I start. Okay. We are about to start.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. We just open a documentation. Okay. So let me share my screen. Let me know if you guys are able to see my screen, right? Is it visual to everyone?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the session. Let's start our session. Okay. So what we are going to discuss today, we'll start from very scratch, where I'll discuss about a few pointers about the common terminology of this particular firewalls, right? It is going to be common for the every kind of the devices. Probably means any firewall, like you are going to work on the Palo Alto, Fortinet, or suppose, or maybe you are going to work for any Cisco ASA, that remain is going to be same. And then after we'll do the day zero lab, right? Means if you have any brand new firewall, so how you're going to configure, right? So this is how its flow is going to happen for today's session. Thanks, Sayed, for joining the session.
Yeah, sir.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, I was waiting for you as well. So you also joined. So now we are good. So few things we have to understand, like very common thing, like if I want to discuss about the security, right? So we have to understand common network security terms, which is very helpful, guys, because if you are going to part of the any kind of the security domain, probably you are going for the any kind of the cyber security, network security, cloud security, the domains are going to use these work and these keywords very frequently. So you should know. Anu, can you help? Thank you. So these terms are very helpful in terms of the just explaining the concept, right? And which is going to be frequently used in any networking and security infrastructure. So might be if you heard about like we have the lot of terminologies, like you are going to heard about the assets, you are going to heard about the vulnerability, you are going to heard about the exploits, right? You are going to heard about like threats, right? So we just have to understand what are these terms, and you are going to heard about the attacks, you are going to heard about the risk. So you have to, and also countermeasure. So we have a lot of kind of the keywords that you have to understand, and based on that how you can just correlate with the firewall configuration, network security configuration, or cyber security configuration, or might be any kind of the cloud security configurations. So that's very common security network term. Basically, you have to understand, right? So you can see the first term we are going to use commonly while doing the security discussion, that is my assets, right? So what is the assets and why we are going to use the assets? That also we have to understand. So any kind of the devices, let's suppose you're working for the organization, so that organization have the lot of assets. You are also going to be assets, right? For your company, human is also asset, because if you are not going to there, so they cannot do any business. But in term of the networking and security, what are the key assets that we have to understand, which is going to commonly use for the any organizations? So assets are basically nothing. They are basically the infrastructure that is going to use for the any organization, that is known as the assets, right? So which is might be your laptop, that is your assets, your charger, that is your asset, their server, that is your assets. Might be you're going to use some other kind of the, let me use some kind of the whiteboards. So probably you are going to use, hold on guys, why it's not working? 1 minute. Yeah. So you have seen about the, clear it. Yeah, routers, right? You have heard about the switch. You have heard about the firewalls, right? You have heard about the laptops. So these are basically, and like you might be heard about the WLC, you have heard about the access points, you might be heard about like any kind of the IoT devices, and even you are going to heard about the printers, etc. So these devices are basically, that is networking and security devices. Means firewall is part of the security device, and routers which are networking device, access WLC is networking device, IoT could be the part of the both, printer is network device, and etc. Server could be there, other devices going to be there. So these are basically part of the assets, right? So assets basically for the company, not only the networking devices, the building itself is going to be asset, means where you're going to work. The company car also going to be assets. The company furniture, right? If you're going to use the furniture, that is also going to be your assets, right? So this is furniture is also going to be asset, right? Similarly, any machine which is going to be used, that is also going to be asset. So example, right? If you are entering in the company, being employee, you are also asset for the company. And whatever belongings belong inside of the campus of your company, that is asset. And this is your responsibility to protect your asset. How you're going to protect your assets? Let's take an example. If you are the employee and company have to protect you, so they basically make sure right cab, right, is going to pick you from the home and they can drop you to the office because they concern about the security, or from office to home, that also going to be happen if you are using the company cabs. And similarly, once you are going to enter in the office, so they have to make sure till the time you're going to stay in the office, their environment is going to be very like user friendly or employee friendly. Nobody is going to harm in terms of the physically. So that's why they use the CCTV. They have some rules and regulation. They have the managers, they have the TLs, they have the security guards and other admin staffs. So this is your personal security is going to maintain. Means nobody is going to enter inside of the company and who can just, do the fight with you, because they have some rules and regulations. So that's also your set. Similarly, building, sorry, building itself is going to be highly protected in terms of the all kind of the facility like firefightings. They have proper alarming system. They have proper kind of the any kind of fire drill system. They have proper kind of the any other kind of the earthquake system. So your building is also going to be safe. Your cars also going to be safe. The furniture inside of the building they're also going to be safe. Similarly, if you have any IT assets, means if you have a laptop, desktop, and any printer, that also should be safe. How? Nobody going to take out any asset from your company to out. Nobody is going to take any kind of the uh, unauthorized device inside your company. Nobody is going to like take data out from your company. So that is your company asset, and company is having a responsibility to make sure that is going to be protected. So that is your assets, right? So you can see here, property, vehicles, everything is going to be part of the asset, and asset is going to be used for the your any kind of protections. Clear? So probably if you are going to like heard the word asset, so you can recognize asset is something that is your basically physical infrastructure and the networking devices that is going to part of your system, and that is going to be protected by your company, which cannot be misused for the any other purpose. Clear to everyone about the asset? Okay, so I'm just considering you all are clear. Now your next word is going to heard about the vulnerability. So probably you also should know about what is the vulnerability. So let me use again. So what is the vulnerability and why this vulnerability is very important? Anyone know what is the vulnerability? Anyone want to define what is the vulnerability? No? Any idea?
Yes, sir,
What
I
is?
can.
Yes. You want to say something, Tamim? What is a vulnerability?
Yeah, I wanted to say something about vulnerability. Vulnerability is something that bring possibility to be hack your system or um,
Yes, yes, go ahead.
the vulnerability cover all the ways that are giving opportunity for a hacker or for theft or for anyone to find a way
Hmm.
and to find opportunity to get information or to get any reconnaissance or any types of attack toward of your system. So vulnerability is something that will give opportunity for your opposites or for we can say for your for the hackers to breach your system.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
In simple word,
Thanks a lot.
loopholes.
Yes. Yes, Sanjeev, in simple word, what is a vulnerability?
In simple words, loophole is there.
Yes,
Whatever
right.
loopholes in your configuration.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I written two statement, right? So if I really want to explain vulnerability in the very simple word, what is a vulnerability? So vulnerability is nothing. It is just a weakness of your systems, right? Might be your networking devices. Your system could be laptop. Your can be desktop, right? So anything if you're using to use, and I know the weakness, then it could be risk for you. How? Let's suppose you are using one of the laptop, right? This is your laptop, and you trying to lock your laptop, and you're trying to enter some password for your unlock your laptop, and I'm just sitting behind you and I am watching what kind of the action you are doing because I'm the hacker, right? And I want to get your unauthorized access to the laptop. So sometime when you are going to put your password, I can do the video recording and I can memorize your what are the keywords your keyboard you are going to use that. Based on that, what I can do that I can just know your password, and based on that password I can just take your computer access. So that's again a bad thing, right? So this is again a bad things which I have done, and I know the weakness of your system, that is your password. Similarly in computer we have the lot of kind of the files, lot of kind of softwares, right? And all software are going to build by the humans, even computer is going to build by the humans. So if someone understand entire programming things, how the software was built, and they find any weakness, so based on that weakness, they can do some kind of the research and they will enter in your system, and they will basically going to hijack your entire system, and you're going to lose your all kind of data or might be the complete access to the system. So that's the vulnerability. And most common vulnerability example, probably you have heard about the ransomware, right? You heard about the log4j. That is a recent like attacks happen due to the vulnerability because they not only going to target your systems, they are going to target your servers, they are going to target your routers, they are going to target your switches, they are going to target even the firewalls. Firewalls, right? You know, is a security device, but this security device can even be compromised. Let's suppose in firewalls you allow everything. You are not restricting any interface. So anybody is going to come inside your firewall and they can hack your firewalls. So these vulnerability are basically just a weakness of your any network devices, any network systems, any kind of the applications which are going to use inside of your networking. That is also any kind of the weakness under the network protocols. Now, what is network protocols? Let's understand this one also. So networks protocol might be, I'm just going to talk about IKE version, right? So we have the IKE version 1 and we have the IKE version 2. This is going to use for the protocol for the IPsec. So why IKE version 1 was there earlier? And why IKE version 2 was developed? Because this one having some kind of the bad or weakness, bad things or weakness. So they are easily going to be compromised. So to make it stronger, they use the IKE version 1. So any IPsec tunnel I'm going to build, nobody is going to compromise. Another example, you can understand RIP version 1 and RIP version 2. Why this has been introduced? Because they have the more performance, more good feature, more security, right? So RIP version 1 was not there anything. You are going to use the EIGRP. So EIGRP, also you can integrate with the normal security, plain text security, MD5 security, and the even encryption based security. So your neighborship is going to be very secure. Nobody is going to hack what is going inside of your protocols. So that's network protocols application. You can just think about any Outlook application. You can just think about any kind of the like Facebook applications. You're going to talk WhatsApp applications. So these all are going to be applications. So WhatsApp, Facebook, these all are the very secure applications that is going to be always securely transfer your any data. So nobody is sitting in the middle on the internet who is going to understand what kind of data you are sending and what kind of data you are receiving. So that's the application. The third parameter that is the most important for any weakness, that is the OS, that is the operating system, right? This is something where most of the time vulnerability attack has been happened. So when you are going to build any operating system, let's suppose you want to build like operating system based on the iOS, you are going to build based on the like Windows and Linux. Just these are the three. And also you can just send to us. We have a lot of operating system. Why this iOS is very secure? Everyone is just running around for the Apple MacBook, Apple iOS, like, because it's very secure. Its operating system is really robust and very secure. There is very less weakness, right? If you compare with the Windows always having the very high weakness, right? And that's why you can see Windows servers, Windows PCs, they are always going to be compromised. Android is also like one of the operating system that is also very weak. So if you compare the Android phones, if you're going to compare with the any kind of the Mac OS phone, sorry, iOS phone, then the iOS phone is always having the very high security. So that's why whenever we talk about the vulnerability, it's just system weakness based on their OS, based on their network protocols, or based on their what application they are using. So based on that, people who want to destroy your reputations, people who want to take unauthorized access to your system, they are going to take something out from that particular three parameters, which is widely going to be used. Then they will get some weakness and then they will enter in your system. That's your vulnerability. Is it clear? So attackers gain access of your organizations, unauthorized organization based on your weakness, right? So that's your vulnerability come in a picture. So you always have to make sure my system doesn't have any kind of the vulnerability there. Is it clear, guys? Everyone clear about the vulnerability? Okay. Any doubt, still let me know. I can re-explain, okay? Don't worry about if you have any kind of question in mind. The next one, probably I'll show you. Let me write here. So we have the very another popular thing. Exploit. Anyone know what is exploit? Anyone? What is exploit? So we done assets, we done vulnerability. What is exploit? Anyone? Just think about it. What are the exploits? No one? No one know about the exploits? Just focus on this diagram. Okay, so I just consider no one have any answer. So let me explain what is exploit. So if I talk about the exploits, like this is the method or way, right? Or tool. So but basically what is going to happen, basically we have the attackers, right? And these attackers going to target your PC, might be your laptop, right? Might be your server, right? Sorry, servers, anything, right? So here is the attacker sitting here. So now he know the weakness, right? How he can find the weakness? So they are going to use some tools, right? Might be just think about the Kali Linux machine, right? This is the one of the Kali Linux machine. So basically, the method, the trick, the tool that is used by the attackers on any kind of the vulnerability which you find that which is going to harm your system, that's basically exploits come under that particular category. So the exploit can be a software, or might be it is going to use some social engineering work to hack your any kind of the unauthorized access. So what can be social engineering? Just take an example how the exploit can be happen. So basically, let's suppose I'm the hacker, right? And I'm here, and you are the basically good person who is just very happy, and you want to just trying to do some kind of access to your computer. So what trick I'm going to use? So probably when you're going to enter the password, I'm just going to talk with you, right? Continuous, I'm going to talk with you. So you are just talking with me, and same time you're trying to type your password, right? So I am just engaged you intentionally. I just engaged you intentionally so that you never think I want to take your password access, or I want to just capture your password access, right? What password you are going to enter inside this PC. So the method I use, that is the social engineering. Social engineering is basically, it's a process where hackers are going to get some informal information from you, right? Like while typing, they will ask some generic question: what is your name, what is your date of birth, how, where you stay, and based on that they will do some combination to get the password. Or might be they will engage you while in certain topic of discussion, and they will just understand what type of the activity you are doing on the IT devices. So that's again a part of social engineering. So basically, the exploit can be a software or a method of social engineering to hack your any system access or get your system unauthorized access. And based on that, the exploits help to target your computer, that is become as a vulnerability. So vulnerability is like your password is a vulnerability because you lose the password. The method they use, that basically exploit by doing some kind of social engineering, going to send some mail, that is the like phishing email, and based on that you are going to click on that email, then it is going to redirect somewhere else, and then it is going to basically harm your entire systems. So an exploit again can be defined a way or method or tool which is used by the attackers on a vulnerability. Means if any weakness they found on your system intentionally, unintentionally, then it is going to target your network, and that is going to damage your reputation, or you are going to lose your access of system. This exploit can be a software or can be a method, some other social engineering that is just going to hack your entire system. Is it clear, guys? Please let me know. Is it clear? Exploit clear or not? So let me show you. Probably you can see the some dependencies. This is the hacker, right? So attackers are going to create exploits to target software or the vulnerability. Means he know the any weakness. So they are going to use some tools, some software, or might be social engineering. Based on that, they are going to target you. And how the target is going to happen? Might be they are going to send some kind of the attachment email message and compromise website. Social engineering, like any social engineering, they are going to do that. And based on that, if you're just going to take an action, the attacker are going to redirect you some bad server and might be some vulnerable environment where your system is going to be exposed and everything is going to be compromised. Clear? Is it clear? Can you give me thumbs up if you guys clear about this? So I come to know you clear. If not clear, please let me know. Sandeep, Sanjeev, Siv, Sayyed, Tamim. Okay, so let's talk about the threats. How many you know about the threats? Please let me know. It's more common, right? You might be also find a threat in your real life as well. Somebody must be threat you. So can you just define what is a threat? What is threat? Anyone? Please, guys, come on. Might be you are wrong, might be you're right. It's just the opportunity to have a discussion with me. Don't worry about.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, what is threats?
Threat. Okay, sir. I will tell something about threat.
Yes, please go ahead.
Are you hearing, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please, Tamim, go
Okay,
ahead.
threat is something all vulnerability are threat for me. Okay, sir, all vulnerabilities that are in my system, those are threat for me. So vulnerability that are exist in our system, this all will make a big threat, and we will also know these things that are used by hackers to gain our system. We will know those all are the threat.
Very nice, Tamim. I appreciate it. Kind of warning. Rajesh saying
Thanks, sir.
kind of warning, right? Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, Im, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. For me, a threat is a potential danger to a system or application
Yeah, right.
in a network.
Agree. So in normal layman language, threats, right? If somebody is, let's suppose there is two person, right? Mr. A, this is Mr. A, and let's use this is Mr. B. They are actually a good friend. In initial stage, they are a friend, right? But now for some reason, it could be any, might be they have some kind of the personal region, professional region, some kind of the middleman region, any could be. And now they become the enemy to each other, right? So they do not like to each other. And Mr. A is going to say, I will kill you in some day. So once he say, I will kill you in some day. So now for Mr. B, the Mr. A become a threat. Why? Because he give the warning, I will kill you. So his threat is kind of the going to harm his life, right? In layman language. So it's a warning that somebody is going to give to harm you in layman language. That's a threats, right? What we understand, like they are going to kill you, they are going to punish you, or they might be going to financially, they are going to destroy you, might be they are going to hit their car, they are going to put some kind of the bomb on your house, might be they are going to kidnap your child. So that's a threat, right? That's usually happening across the globe, right? People are keep doing, somebody's going in with a gun and a school and they're just going to like kill a lot of people. Sometime we have seen happen in the most of time in US as well, and India as well. So that's the threats. And these kind of threats is really very like problematic for the any humans. Similarly, these kind of threats can be happen for your organization and for that your network devices, right? So how those threats are going to make a make a like any kind of the harm for your computer and data. So just think about now we are the company. Just think this is the company. This company have the lot of pieces, right? Just think about these are the different PC. This is the PC A, B, C, D. These PCs are going to connect to the internet, right? Via, let's suppose we have the router and router is connected with the switch and switch connected with these PCs. Now they are talking to the Google. They are talking to the other drive as well, drive.com or might be the box.com. So you have the internet access. So might be your company not using any kind of the data protection policy. Means DLP is not in place for your company. So any employee sitting inside of a company in an office, they can basically going to like upload your company confidential data on internet. So that's going to become a threat for you because you're going to lose your reputations. Might be your company is building some kind of the watch, right? Or might be they have the iPhone or any other mobile phone factory, and they design, or might be you are just going to design a car. So you just design a very good car design after doing the 1 year of research, right? And your design is very nice. But this Mr. A just have an intention. There's another competitor company, and that company is the XYZ, and this is company is the ABC, and he have the one friend working here. So what, he is also connected with the internet. So he will talk to his friend. He is going to say that if you give me some 1,000 US dollar, or might be like 10,000 US dollar, I will give the valuable information which my company is working since 1 year, and you are going to get a like in 1 day. So he will think, oh, why cannot I pay? Because I, by use of that data, I can develop some new iPhone, new kind of the car, new kind of mobile, or other research paper. So that's a become a threat for your company, right? Because you are going to lose your data, right? So that's one of the type of threats. So you have to always make sure your data should be always there. Nobody is going to hack. That is the one use case. Another use case, let's suppose this Mr. A trying to access the Google file from the internet, and this Google site is just trying to download one of the file, and this file have any kind of the virus, right? And this virus is going to come your LAN network. So this is the bad thing. Virus is not a good thing, right? So again, it's virus is part of your threats. Data leak part of your threats. So that's virus is going to come inside of your system. Then it is going to affect your entire LAN system, and you are going to be like lose might be your access of the computer, or might be the computer stop working correctly. The file are going to be corrupt. So that's again a threat. So you have to play something which is going to protect such kind of threats, right? Similarly, we have a lot of example, like we can think about like a spying activity. So there is the another threat, a spyware. So what is a spyware? Might be somebody sitting on the internet, and they are come across this particular internet to your router and your computer and switch, and they trying to gather some information of your LAN. So means there is some weakness, that why some spying is coming to your system. You can think in this way. Let's suppose I build a very good house, right? Just suppose I build a very good house, right? And this house, I have multiple bedrooms, I have the drawing halls and everything. And I also install very nice gate and very nice window here, right? A lot of windows are closed here. So somebody wanted to do my and wanted to get what inside of my house. Somebody is just planning for the any thefts, right? So if somebody is going to plan for any theft, so what is going to do that? Basically, first they have to understand what is the loopholes for my house. They definitely have to understand what is the loopholes for my house. Once they're going to figure out the loopholes for my house, then they are going to take the actual theft actions. So how the loopholes is going to happen? So they are going to do some spying activity. So based on the spying activity, they are going to find out whether I can jump from this building to this building, the window is open or not. Might be the door here installed, that's the weak door, I can just break. The locker here, the lock here installed, that is not a good, I can break that lock. So they are going to do some survey, some research. Based on that, they are going to find the weakness of your entire home, and then based on that, they are going to enter inside of a home, and then probably you are going to lose your access. So such kind of the spying activity also you should stop, right? Means you have to design your home or your house in such way, if somebody is even trying to do a spying activity, you can capture. Might be you can install the CCTV everywhere. and somebody is going to monitor. So if he is going to spying from there, you come to know, hey, this is a unknown person, why he is doing like that. So at least you come to know what is happening there, and based on that, you can take some actions. Make sense, guys? Is it make sense or not? Yes, no, maybe? Please let me know. Right? So, Sanjeev, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is like we have the multiple type. I just given the one or two type example, but let me open my slide. So you can see threats can be defined anything danger to your assets. Means it can be danger for your body, danger for your assets, or accidentally going to be triggered, or might be intentionally going to be triggered. It could be anything. Let's suppose this user is trying to download some file from the internet. So he do not have the intention to download the file from the Google as a virus based file, but mistaken he can download that, then your virus is going to come in your system. But if he is trying to download intentionally to just destroy my company network, might be I have some fight with my boss, or might be my manager, so or might be my senior manager, so I will just do something rubbish and I just download some virus, and those viruses going to come in my network, and that is going to destroy my entire network. So that's again a threats. So that's why you can see threats can be defined as anything danger to your assets. Assets are again your IT hardwares, softwares, any kind of the building, car. Means basically we are talking about the IT. So laptop, computer, server, firewall, whatever we have OS, that is your assets. And this can be multiple way. It could be worm, again a back, rootkit, computer crash, slow response, identity theft, lockups, keyloggers, data loss, Trojan horse, online predictor, spy wrap, right? We have the hackers, viruses. So we have a lot of kind of the things which is going to use, and these all are going to bad for your system. So you always have to think my threats should be not going to be happen, because I need to design such way my entire network which is going to be protected. Yes, Tamim, any question you have? Hello, Tamim?
But
Okay. Anything you want to ask?
no, some not.
Okay. So multiple threats, like threats could be multiple type. We are going to learn later on, right, how it is going to be protected. But I'm just going to write major one. That's one is the malware, right? You are going to find the ransom where also it's a part of the vulnerability. You're going to find some phishing email that is also going to harm. That is going to be insider threats. What is insider threats? I'll discuss about that. Means inside your computer LAN, that is going to be threats. And also we have the DOS versus DDoS. So distributed denial of service or denial of service. So we have two types of the threats. So we'll discuss what is that and how it is going to protect it later on. But yes, if I'm talking the threats, you should know about like how it is going to be look like. Now we have the term like might be going to use for the attacks. So what is the attacks and how it is going to be protected? So attack is nothing. Let's suppose I'm going to talk about the attack. So attack is something, let's suppose somebody have the like intention. It could be the intention base, it could be the financially sponsored, it could be the nation sponsored. Attack could be anything. Let's suppose they are one-to-one fight, Mr. A and Mr. B. So they are having some kind of the fight. So he can do attack for his personal revenge. Or might be this Mr. A doesn't know Mr. B, but Mr. C is here. He is going to say that if you're going to do attack on Mr. B, I will pay you 10,000 US dollar. Right? So he is going to basically do the attack. So it is going to be financially motivated, right? So this kind of attack is going to happen due to the financial. So you have to basically also have to understand, is it a financial motivated, it's a self revenge kind of attack, or might be something is going to happen nation sponsored. What is the nation sponsored? Let's suppose there are two countries. You can take an example. We have the right now the war is going on. Might be you can think about the Russia and the Ukraine, right? So these two countries are situated to different geography, but they have the war right now. So now he want to want to destroy with the you. So basically they have the proper sponsorship. Hackers are sitting here in the country, and based on that hacker, they are targeting the spots. Might be their oil and gas minery, might be their government institutions, might be their college and universities, and based on that they are going to do the target attack to just destroy this particular country. So one thing, they are fighting with the soldiers on air, they are fighting with the soldiers on water, they are finding with the soldiers on the ground, everywhere. But still also they are fighting with the country on the based on the cybers, because they just want to destroy each and everything, so they will come and negotiate what they actually want. So that's kind of the attacks, also known as the nation sponsors attack. Okay. So attack can be defined as an action that is attacker is going to take on your system, on your kind of the servers, on your kind of the company, on your kind of the any kind of the software. That could be anything. Right? Clear, guys? Is it clear? Everyone clear? Yes, no, maybe, please.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now I use the word risk. What is risk? Anyone know about this? Risk.
Yes, risk is something that you are doing any challenges thing or challenges no, but something that will new for you, but you are don't know about the result of such a scenarios or such a planning. So maybe some such a planning or such a things face you with a bad thing or taking or any type of exploitation. So such a thing we can say that these are risk or something else also risk. We say that we are taking risk to do these changes in our system or other thing that are face you with a challenge. We can say such these are risk.
Yeah, right. So I'm writing some pointer. Thank you so much, Tamim. Again, I appreciate it. And let me see. I have some kind of the response chat as well. So Raj is saying it will be impact and plan activity. Yeah, that makes sense. So potentially lose your data and something, right, for your company and IT, and also going to compromised, right? Or might be it is going to damage, or might be it is going to destroy, and other negative consequences. So that's the risk. Means due to any activity, which could be due to assets, due to threat, due to vulnerability. These all are company. Asset is your company data, right? Threat is something bad for your company data. Vulnerability is something again bad for your company data. So if these three things are going to work together, so they are always going to have a risk, right? Let's suppose you guys are taking the online class, but you are paying some money, right? So while paying, also you're taking some risk. Might be the Guinet is take the money and run away. This is not going to deliver the course. So that is a risk for you, right? But still you trust, and based on that trust, you pay full amount to us, and then you take the classes. And we also make sure we not do such kind of the fraudulent activity, because also we are committed. So that's the risk, right? You're going to travel somewhere, you will just book the flight. So it is not 100% guarantee your flight is going to be on time, or might not be cancelled. It is going to be cancelled or might be delayed. That's also a risk, right? You are just have a kids, right? Kids, you're just giving the schooling, but it's not 100% sure the kids is going to become a like always very rich person in the future. But still you are investing money because you're taking a risk because it's your duty. So similarly, risk is could be anything. The risk is always going to be happen. It is going to potentially lose something or organizational things. it is going to potentially going to compromise or damage or destroy your company reputation or other negative things. So basically, you always have to minimize the risk. Risk is always there. Risk is not going to 100% removed. Not my word. Even you are going to build a very good security system, but still there is a risk. Risk can be minimized, but it cannot be eliminated. If it is going to be eliminated, whole IT world is going to be, cybersecurity and security world is going to be like saturated. No jobs are going to be there. One system is going to build, there is no further risk. So no one is going to further hire any engineer. Nobody is going to learn anything about that. So risk can be minimized. Might be in my organization, I have the only 10% risk. Some other organization have the 15% risk, some other 20% risk. But risk is always going to be there. And you have to work how I can minimize the risk, how I can secure my assets, how I can make sure threats are not going to come in my system, how I can make sure vulnerability is not going to be there. This is how it is risk should be minimized. You guys get it about the risk? Yes, no, maybe. Please let me know. Okay, so I'm just taking you guys understand. Last thing, I'll just talk about the countermeasure, right? So let me talk about. By the way, how many you are hearing these words first time? What is countermeasures? Anyone? What is countermeasures?
Yes, sir. A countermeasures are things put in place so that risk can be avoided or minimized.
Yes, Sim. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. I appreciate it. So basically, if I talk about the countermeasures, so basically the countermeasures are basically, you can just think about, are basically an action. Sorry. Let me. Action initiated by your company to just minimize the any risk, threat, vulnerability. So it could be anything. Means in short, like what Amy just explained. So countermeasure is just you have to take some actions. Based on that actions, the organization is going to take some actions. So make sure your security company, security engineer, security professional can mitigate any kind of the threat or vulnerability or might be any kind of risk associated with your computer IT networks. So whenever you talk about, right, any kind of the threats, any kind of the this kind of things, it is always countermeasure is going to be there. That is your mitigation plan. That is your countermeasure. How I can compromise, how I can do some kind of the mitigation plan. Based on that, my risk is going to be unassociated from my computer IT infrastructure. Okay. So guys, these things you should know about it. Okay. And last, you can see there, we have this kind of the things always going to be happen. Like you have to protect, you have to compromise, you have to like materialize, you have to exploit, and you have to expose. So that you have to mitigate by helping of the countermeasure. So this is the common terminology we have the probably for any kind of the cybersecurity concept. So I'll share this document to you all. So you guys also read out to like everything, how it is going to happen, how the system is going to be connected, how the server PC and all is going to be happen. So you guys are going to get this kind of the concept. Now, if you all okay, then I'll move to the some firewall things. Give me thumbs up if no questions. If any question, please put your thumbs down.
Sir, please, if you just a bit review the countermeasure, I've not got the concept of this.
So countermeasure is basically, let's suppose this is your system, right? This is a system. So this is the client, this is your router. So if you want to take some actions, By taking some action, you want to make sure whatever company security professional are there, they can make sure no any loopholes, right? Means any kind of the like loopholes I have. Let's suppose I have a loopholes where this PC can download the virus from the interface. So to protect this virus should not come in my network, I have to take some actions. That's my countermeasure. So being a security engineer, you have to take some actions. Based on that actions, you are going to apply very robust firewall here, and this firewall is going to kill every virus which is coming from the internet. That's your countermeasure. So that's the initiated by your organization. That's going to mitigate, that's going to kill any kind of the vulnerability threat which is coming from the outside your network, or somebody trying to basically hack your network. Is it clear, Tamim? Tamim, is it clear to you?
Yeah, so that's clear. Okay, thanks.
All right.
Yeah, that's clear.
Great,
Okay,
great. So now, guys, let's move further.
thanks.
Please mute them in. Let's move further, right? We have to understand, let's suppose you have the very brand new firewalls. So how I can do the like log into my firewall. So this is the last task for today because we have done theoretical concept. So now we have to do some practical concept. So I have discussed like if you are going to like start this FortiGate, so you have to do multiple things inside of the lab. So lab we are going to provide, and you guys are going to get the lab access as well from our side. And this lab can be accessible from the anywhere across the globe, right? You just have to put your username and password. Similarly, let me log out. So you are going to get some URL. So this kind of the URL you're going to get. Once you put the URL, you're just going to turn on this particular web page. You have to put your username and password. Right now, I'm going to log in with the admin. And based on that admin, I can just enter this particular lab. Here, I need to select the HTML console. Once I'll enter this lab, you can see this is the FortiGate lab. Similarly, we have a lot of labs. So whatever course you're going to enroll, that you're going to get a lab. So here we have the day zero labs, right? And other labs, a lot of labs are here. So we have to learn very advanced thing in the Fortinet firewall, but we have to do the day zero configuration. Let's suppose you have the very brand new firewall. So how you can do the brand new firewall configuration? So I explained the lot of thing about the FortiGate, how many firewalls we have in the previous intro sessions, and how this firewall are going to use in which kind of scenario, and what are the different data set they have about throughput, IPsec, VPNs, sessions, policies, and other kind of the advantages. So I just compare all the in previous lecture. But today, what I'm going to do, let's suppose you have any brand new firewall, how you going to get access. So by default on FortiGate firewall, we have the management interface for the sum of the model. There is the MGMT interface. On this interface, we have the hard coded IP address. This is the hard coded IP address for the any firewalls, means not any firewall, means high-end firewall where have the management interface. If there is no management interface on the FortiGate firewall, so by default, we have the port 1 that is going to act as a management interface. Means any device you're going to connect on this interface, that is going to try to get IP from the DSCP directly. If there is no DSCP IP address, then you can define the static IP on this particular interface. But by default, you will try to take the DSCP. So right now, you can see this PC doesn't have the DSCP functionality. So it will not get IP address directly from this particular port. So we'll try to give by the static, and then we'll try to log in first time how the FortiGate firewall is going to look like. This is the last task for today. So what I'll do, I'll simply turn on this firewall and I'll turn on this PC. And this is my virtual firewall. So there is no hard-coded IP address. There is no management port. Only that management port is going to come on from your physical firewall. So what I can do that, I can connect this PC from the port 1 to my LAN PC. And I just turn on this particular device. I'll just double click on it. So your PC is going to be turned on. And I'll just double click on this. This is also going to be turned on. So just wait for a while, and then after we'll see that. So see, this is my FortiGate firewall, right? In this firewall, you can see this is asking for the username and password. So by default, you have to put admin username and you don't have to give any password initial when you're going to log in very first time. So you don't have to give any initial password. You just have to press enter. And then it is going to ask, okay, let me do one thing. I believe there is some configuration. Hold on, guys, hold on. Let me just do one thing. Okay, this is fine. So let me just wipe this firewall. I believe there was some configuration. So let me wipe it. So let me turn it on again. So let it boot. And meanwhile, let me show you the day 0 configuration, how you can do that. So I will go in documentation, training documentation, and FortiGate Firewall. Okay. So when you have to do the initial configuration, I can see some chats are there. Oh, this session was not recorded. Okay, no worry. It's live, so it is going to record as well. Okay, I forgot to record that. Okay, no problem. This is going to record it, Rajesh. Okay, so you are going to get that. It's also in the YouTube. So you're going to get that. I forgot that. Sorry for that. To record in the Zoom as well. Hold on. Okay. So when we are going through the configuration, guys, so we have the step-by-step lab guide for the initial configuration. See, this is my day 0 firewall. So we just have to connect. We have to give the IP address. So you have to configure how you can define the IP address on this particular firewall interface. And it is going to take by default DHCP. So how I can convert from the static IP address, and then how I can define some kind of the management administrative services like ping, HTTP, SSH, and then we can do the DNS configuration and all. But DNS will do later. But let me just show you how we can define this particular configuration basically on the firewall. So once we are in the PC, you can see this is a server. So you just have to close it. And here we have to define the IP address. What IP address? Let me go in the lab. So we have to give the IP address 192.168.10.11. So I'll go here and I'll go in the network and properties. Network. So here I'll go. See, this is already IP. It was assigned in the previous session, right? So means when previous batch we have taken, so this IP was assigned. So similarly, you have to give the IP address, use IP address statically, and you have to click OK. So now this PC have the IP address. Now it's time to do the firewall IP address. So how we can do that firewalls? Firewall, you can see I'm in the firewall. This is serial number. So I just put the username admin. There is no password. So you just have to click enter and then you get the option for new password. You can put any new password and you have to repeat the password. Once you do, you can see this is my FortiGate firewall. I have to run show system interface and you have to put a question mark. See, by default, this is not taking IP address because it's the port 1 which is connected on this particular PC. It is basically under DHCP, but this is not taking any IP address because there is no DHCP server. So if I try to give IP address on this interface, it will not take IP address. Let me do that. So how can I give the manual IP address? I have to go to config system and I have to write the interface and I have to put edit and then I have to give the port number 1. And once I'll just try to set this interface, I just want to set IP address. Let me just put IP address like 192.168.10.10. And I want to give this 255, 255, 255 to 0. See, this is what IP address we have. So it is going to throw me an error. We cannot change the dynamic IP because this interface is part of the DHCP. So you cannot assign the IP address. It will keep trying to get IP address. But if you want to change the IP address, you have to change the mode. How you can change the mode? You have to give the set mode static. And then you have to give the IP address set IP 192.168.10.10 and 255 255.255.0. And then you just have to and one more thing you're going to get. So now if you're going to say so system interface, you are going to get this IP address. But if this IP address you are going to ping from this interface, let me show you first. This by default have the HTTPS ping, SSH, and HTTP services allowed, right? But you don't want to allow this HTTP, it's unsecure, right? So even you want to like remove, you can remove that. But because of this ping is allowed, if you're going this PC, if you're trying to ping, it is going to ping your firewall interface. So if I go here, let me go. So if I just try to ping 10.10, so it is pinging because this is allowed. If I just go and change this particular configuration, let me just go here, config, edit port 1 and set, I just put allowance, I remove this, I just put HTTP and HTTPS. So you see that now if I just go system interface and port 1, you see there is only 2 services. So now this PC will not able to ping this interface because you don't have the administrative services allowed on this particular interface. So you have to make sure whatever services you want, you should be there. So I'll just go in the config again, config system interface, edit port 1 and set allowance. I will allow the ping, SSH and HTTPS. These are the minimum requirement, right? And then I'll end. So you can see I will ping again, it is going to ping. So if I'm able to ping and also I allow the HTTPS, so I can take the GUI access of the firewall. So let me go on this particular window PC. I'll open the browser. If this HTTPS is not allowed, we cannot take the GUI access. But this HTTPS is not going to work. Why it is not going to work? Because the license is trial on this particular firewall. So we have to allow the HTTP. So let me show you. It is not going to work via the HTTPS. So you guys have to always allow HTTP as well. So once you put the IP, it is going to work. So I just go here, HTTPS. And let me put HTTPS. It is not going to work because this is not allowed. So on the license, it is going to work. Trial license, it is not going to work. So let me do one thing. Set edit port 1. Edit port 1. Set allowance. I'll allow ping, SSH, HTTPS, HTTP, and I'll end. Now if I go again here, HTTPS is not working. So what I'll do that, I'll just change to HTTP and I'll just try. See, it is prompting the firewall. That's the GUI of the firewall. And if I just put my username and password, it is going to log in. Rajesh, you want to ask something?
So, see, runway, there will be some rule, right?
Sorry?
Forward and reverse rule, right? Is it okay for this one?
Your voice is not very much clear. Can you just
Even my throat is having some issue. I'm asking, we have some forward rule and reverse rule, right? Firewall.
No, that is going to require later. But this is just the management access of the firewall.
Okay.
We'll talk rule. We are taking the GUI access of the firewall. So there's no rule required initially. Okay. Yeah. So you can see this is asking to begin your firewall configuration. I can do that. So I can change the demo firewall, right? And I can click OK. Then I'll just click OK, optimal. I don't want to do that. And say this is your firewall. So now I have the firewall access where I can go on the dashboard and I can do the other configuration. Like I want to define the security. I want to define the VPN, NAT, system, IPsec, routing, everything I can do that. So that will do from Friday. Okay. So after Friday, the classes is going to be regular, right? So I'll just explain on the Friday how the next week classes is going to happen. So this is all for today. And guys who still not enrolled, I would request please complete your enrollment as soon as possible, so you are not going to miss the important lecture, because this is the last demo. After that, there is no demo. So you just have to reach out on this particular number, plus 9192. Let me write it. Plus 919289682701. So just WhatsApp, reach out, or you can just write the email info@.
Tomorrow there will be no class, sir.
No, on Friday after that we have the regular classes. Okay. So
Okay,
you
next
guys,
class will be on Friday, same time.
yes, Friday on same time. Okay, so
Okay.
everyone, I request complete your enrollment. You can just visit our websites as well, right? And get the contact detail. And so on Friday, we will do some real configuration further, like layer 2 interfaces and all. Clear to everyone? Shall we close? Any question, please let me know. Any questions? Please let me know. Or
No,
we are
all
good.
good. All,
Aim, you have any
all good.
question? No?
Sir, are we taking Cisco ASA firewall, sir?
All right. So
I
thank
have
you so
one
much, guys.
question, sir.
Let's connect on the Friday.
I have one question, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care, guys. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye. See you next class.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Rajesh, yes,
Bye.
Cisco ACI will start by next